Face Hogwarts. What's up? I got a tripod for my phone, finally. So now I could do face videos and do what I always wanted to do, which is a tier list. I don't think you guys know this about me, but I think junior year of high school, I loved making tier lists of everything. But I didn't want to do one without showing my face because I felt like, I don't know, I feel like you want to see me talk about it. I don't know, that's just how I feel when I watch people do tier lists. Are they outdated? A little bit. Am I still gonna do one? You betcha. If you like it, should you tell me that you like it and comment that you like it and tell me what else you want me to do? Yes, it'd be greatly appreciated because I have no direction on this channel and so far I'm stuck making nostalgic videos, which I don't mind doing, but eventually you run out of nostalgia and I don't want to reach a point where I'm reviewing a show I never watched, like Cow and Chicken. But yeah, for my first tier list, I wanted to keep it short because I recorded a Cartoon Network tier list and it was over 30 minutes. I don't have the clout to post 30-minute videos and have people watch them. I learned that when I made a Victorious video, and even though that video has a decent amount of views, the watch time is booty cheeks. So today, I'm doing a tier review on something I actually reviewed way back, almost, I think already all those videos are a year old, which is awesome. I spent an entire year inside my house making YouTube videos while everyone around the world was dying. Anyway, being that there's probably going to be another quarantine, I figured that was the best time to order a tripod. Because if I'm going to get locked up in the house again, I'm at least going to be able to show my face on the internet. Also, I'm out of high school, so I no longer feel obligated to hide my face to avoid being made fun of. So yeah, let's get into this tier list. It's a Dan Schneider Schneiderverse tier list. Now, some of these shows I never reviewed. In the Schneider series, I made sure that I just reviewed shows that were nostalgic to me. But those are the shows I grew up with. And, yeah. Everything else is kind of irrelevant to me because time is relative and the only time I remember is my time and everyone else's time does not matter to me. You like 1996? That's cool. I wasn't alive, so it does not matter to me. I was alive in 2005. The peak of my life. I was 3 years old and I pulled baddies, bro. Oh my god. Young Nate pulled more than new Nate does because I never mind. Let's move on. Anyway, let's just jump into this tier list because I'm talking too much. We're gonna start with just the shows that I didn't really watch, starting with The Adventures of Kid Danger. Which I heard is worse than Henry Danger, and I hate Henry Danger. So, if Henry Danger is bad, this is awful. Who let Dan Schneider put together a cartoon? I don't even think he was really a part of it, honestly. Nickelodeon has this thing with cartoons where every cartoon made before 2010 is like pretty good, and like only like 2 cartoons made after it are good. They have this one cartoon that kind of just ruins it for everyone else except for Butch Hartman, who still manages to bitch and moan even though he's had 4 shows, 2 of which were absolute dog shit ass, one of which crashed and burned because he just kept throwing in random characters, and the other one died because it was prematurely canceled. But seeing his track record and the fact that he wants to open up, or at least he wanted to open up, a Christian streaming service, I think it was for the best that it didn't work out for him. Maybe Danny Phantom is best off as a phantom, you feel me? Anyway, sorry for that little Butch Hartman rant. Sometimes that guy just makes me really mad. Now we go to Kenan and Kel. Kenan and Kel I've actually seen. I've seen Good Burger. I've seen some episodes of Kenan and Kel. And I don't know, obviously you don't know this, but I was going to make an episode on the show Kenan, but I didn't because the video was booty cheeks, and I wanted to wait until season 2 came out to really review it. Because I feel like reviewing a show after one season, except for Icarly, because I'm going to do that and I'm a hypocrite. Reviewing a show after one season is just not the move, because the first season is usually the worst season. Look at Parks and Rec, look at The Office, look at Kenan. But Kenan and Kel was a good show with good chemistry, and it was like you took the stars of all that and just like, you literally just took the stars of all that and gave them their own show, and it worked. Next we got Henry Danger. I was, I think, 11 when Henry Danger first came out, and I did not know what to expect from it. At the time, Sam and Cat, I think, was still on or about to end, and every other show that was, like, actually good was ending. Either that or I was just aging, because that's how maturing works. But Kid Danger really wasn't a show I enjoyed. I like Jason Norman. I think he's a pretty good actor, and I like the people in the show. And I think sometimes it was funny. I really like Schwoz. I remember liking Schwoz. And this show was always on, and I would be sitting in the living room watching it thinking, this show is so damn bad. What the hell happened? And then I found out that Dan Schneider was not wholesome and got kicked off. So for that, and the fact that the show is ass cheek, booty cheek, butthole cheek, it's going in bad. Next, we have The Amanda Show. The most overrated show of this category, or this catalog, I guess you could say. This show is mediocre at best. It's like All That. It's like if All That tried to just focus on one person and it wasn't good. The only good thing that came from it was one of the shows on this list. But Amanda herself, honestly, this show only gave us Drake and Josh, and everything else was kind of bad. Amanda Bynes, a lot of people blame this show for her issues, which I don't want to comment on. I feel weird commenting on people that are alive and real. It just doesn't seem right. But the show is actually very mid. It's really not that funny. It was funny as a kid, but it's not funny now. For that reason, I put it in okay. Next up, we got Game Shakers. I hate this show. I don't know why. I don't know why. I do not like this show. It has Kel Mitchell and the kid from Haunted Hathaways, if you remember that show. It's horrible. The only interesting part about the show is the fact that the games they made were on the App Store, and they were ass. So, for having shit games on the iTunes Store, I'm putting you in awful. Because now the entire App Store is overrun with crap games. So I blame Game Shakers. Anyway, we're gonna go to All That. All That is what So Random wanted to be, and is what SNL still is striving to be. And that show has been on for almost 50 years. All That is good. It's really, really good. Do I think it's the best show? No. But I think it was good for the time. It was funny. It was a funny way to introduce comedy to kids, and it gave a lot of people jump starts. Kenan and Kel, Jamie Lynn Spears was on the show, Amanda Bynes was on the show, and it was a pretty decently funny show. I've seen a couple episodes since I've matured into talking about kid shows. Anyway, the show is good. Okay, here we go. Now we're in the prime rib of like my childhood. This is where all the good stuff is. We're gonna start with Sam and Cat. We're gonna go most recent to oldest. Sam and Cat wasn't bad. Sam and Cat is a show that is overshadowed by the fact that the two characters are spinning off from shows that are significantly better than them. But Sam and Cat is actually a very decent show. I like Goomer. I like the kid with the hair. I like the grandma. Actually, I don't like the grandma. I don't really like the grandma. I found her annoying. I hate old people. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. But Sam and Cat was a pretty solid show, so I'm gonna put it in the okay tier because it was solid. But I feel like watching Kid Danger and watching Sam and Cat, you kind of see you kind of see its progression from being as good as Victorious to being as bad as Henry Danger, and it just messes with me. Speaking of Victorious, that wasn't planned, but speaking of Victorious, it's one of the best what if shows that I've seen. It's like if it ran more, I'd probably put it as like the best Nickelodeon sitcom, maybe of all of these, because there's the best Dan Schneider show. As much as you may not like him, his best Nickelodeon show is better than pretty much every other kid show. It's weird with kid sitcoms because you look at these shows and you look at the seasons that they have, and a lot of them only have like 3 to 4 seasons. But if you look at like a really good sitcom, they have like 6 to 10 seasons. It's just so weird and interesting how differently kid sitcoms are treated than adult sitcoms, just because like you look at a kid. Anyway, you look at a kid and when a show ages, the show ages with the kid, so it's kind of hard to keep up because at some point the kids' tastes are going to become mature and they're going to want more like maybe like vulgarities or sexual innuendos that sitcoms nowadays have. And a kid show can't do that because it's still for kids, so what they end up doing is just canceling it because the audience has outgrown Nickelodeon. And it's kind of upsetting, but it's also really, really interesting to look at. I don't think that would have happened with a lot of these shows. Victorious, I think, could have been like an iCarly, or like if you're going to Disney Channel, it could have been like a That's So Raven or Wizards of Waverly Place. It really could have been a long running show. So for that, I'm going to put it in the great tier because I personally think it might be the best. It's definitely, in terms of musical shows, it's definitely the best. In terms of actual songs, though, they take the second place to Big Time Rush because Big Time Rush is the greatest boy band of all time, and you can't really dispute that because it's just a fact. I bumped that with my head. God damn it. Anyway, iCarly. If you've seen Quentin Review's video of iCarly, you might have your views tainted. Guys, I know I have. I can never watch I Go to Japan ever again. But iCarly, regardless, is still the biggest show Nickelodeon has probably ever had in terms of live action. Because obviously, there's one show that just has been going on for a little bit too long. It's having a lot of shitty reboots that I might review in the future. But iCarly is just not that. And it does have a reboot that I also will review in the future once those last 2 episodes come out. But this show is just great. iCarly goes in the great tier. I'm gonna put it in front of Victorious just because it is better than Victorious. If I'm on an abandoned island, I'm taking iCarly over Victorious. I'm probably taking iCarly over pretty much every kid sitcom. Honestly, if I'm taking 10 shows on an abandoned island, I'm probably taking iCarly. Next up is Zoe 101. When I reviewed Zoe 101 and I kind of started looking into it, I didn't realize how toxic it was. And when the Free Britney thing happened, I was kind of hoping Jamie Lynn Spears went under. Because from day one, she has not been a very good person. If you've ever seen the girl who plays Nicole, if you've ever seen her live stream just talking about how Jamie Lynn Spears literally got Britney Spears to yell at her to the point where this girl got sick, it really, really ruins the show for you. And while I like the show, still, when I don't think about it, it's hard not to. And then, of course, there's Chase, who leaves in season 4, and the show pretty much falls apart when they replaced him with Vanessa Hudgens' old boyfriend, whose name I don't remember. It's a show that makes me feel bad when I watch it, but I enjoy it so much. It would have been it would definitely have been the great tier if it didn't have so much behind the scenes issues. but because it did, I have to put it in the good tier. It's lucky that it's not going in the okay tier because, goddamn, Jamie Lynn Spears and the girl who played Dana were not good kids. They may have changed now. I hope they did. Well, obviously Jamie Lynn Spears didn't, but hopefully Dana did a little bit because she's kind of bad. But that just because somebody's, hey, look at me. Just because somebody's good looking does not mean they get a free pass on everything. Come on. Anyway, Drake and Josh. Come on. Is it even a question? That's probably that is the sacrificial lamb of Nickelodeon. That show had to be sacrificed for Icarly to survive because obviously Miranda Cosgrove was on both shows. She couldn't be on both shows at the same time, so Drake and Josh had to get scrapped, which sucks because as we know, actually, honestly, Josh Peck and Drake Bell are both kind of suspect people to me. Drake Bell is, obviously a little too close with kids, and Josh Peck is a little too close with David Dobrik, who is a sociopath. Anyway, this show is amazing. It has probably, out of all the kids shows I've seen, besides SpongeBob, it probably has the most quotable moments. I feel like every kid sees or hears a Drake and Josh quote and is like, I know what that's from. It's from Drake and Josh. So yeah, I think that's going to round out my tier list. I think this is actually a really good tier list, honestly. As you can see, I'm using an iPad in the search engine because I don't own Photoshop. So this is what a lot of the tier list videos are going to be like before I get my computer for Collegio. But yeah. Honestly, the only thing I would honestly change is possibly putting Zoe 101 in okay, because honestly, the toxicity really did do a number on my bias against that show. But I think for the most part, this list is actually really good. If you agree with it or disagree with it, comment below. Is there anything you change? Are there any tier lists you want me to do? Is there any type of video you want me to do now that I show my face? Yeah.